Fast forward to present, I mean, we're obviously looking forward to having you back in Buffalo. I was actually there with the Spirit of Harmony for the Celebrating David Bowie tour, but you didn't make it because you were ill, so it's been a little while, and we're looking forward to having you back in the area. What's the elevator pitch on this tour? I mean, everybody's wondering new album. And I've heard deep cuts. I've heard all kinds of things. I mean, how much are you willing to share before opening night?
Well, it's a pretty deep cuts tour. The last record that I had, Space Force, was substantially collaborative. In other words, I only sang about half of it. So it wasn't the kind of album I could promote. And also, it came out quite a while ago by my estimation. So there wasn't a whole lot of point in re-promoting that. Still in all, I hadn't done a real tour of my own for well, let's say since COVID, but for the virtual tour that we did in Chicago. Since then, I've been opening for Daryl Hall, and I did like Bowie shows and Beatles shows and all of these other things where I was part of the show, but it wasn't my show. Uh, did a couple, I think a very brief tour of my own, but that was substantially unpredictable evening type show. It didn't have a theme beyond that. So it was about time that I, mounted another production style show, uh, and give my fans something that is pretty much entirely me.
So, I mean, this is, you say deep cuts. I mean, we're talking, I don't know, I could pull things out of the era that maybe you've never played. Are we talking Utopia, Todd solo, New Cars, strictly Todd
I'm
solo, or?
talking about stuff that I used to play, haven't played recently, stuff that I've never played before.
Wow.
There will be some stuff from Space Force. It's not as if we're avoiding it, but it doesn't make for a foundation for a tour. Some stuff perhaps from recent albums that I may not have performed. It goes all over as far as I can tell from looking at the set list. It does have something of a thread to it, but not so much that I could draw out a plot line. And we won't really know whether the running order works and that sort of thing until we get to rehearsals, which start uh, just a couple days now.
I got to ask this, and because I just find it incredible. I mean, as I mentioned to you, I'm coming up on my 200th show, so I've seen you even over the last 10 years. Like you said, you had the Bowie show, you've had the Individualists, you had before, you had White Knight, all these different shows, and over the past even 8 to 10 years, you've performed this ridiculous amount of songs. And you don't seem to use a teleprompter or anything. I mean, have you always just had an innate ability to? I mean, I know if you write the songs, maybe that's different, but there's a lot of songs that you didn't write. How are you able to keep that, keep learning stuff over and over again for every tour?
I don't know. I know all the things that would prevent me from being able to do that, but um, yeah, I kind of take it seriously. It's important. Seems important to me if you're really gonna, if you're gonna perform the song um, with uh, with some kind of commitment, and sincerity, you have to internalize the lyrics. What the hell do they mean? Even if, like, I'm doing Strawberry Fields Forever and it doesn't mean anything, you still have to sort of internalize uh, the words so that you can kind of focus on the performance and not be distracted by trying to read them. I'm And I don't think it's a special talent. I think the problem is people who use teleprompters get addicted to that
Hmm.
because it's like watching TV. I know that, Daryl uses a prompter. In fact, there's prompters all over the stage. And I have to force myself not to look at them if I'm on stage and he's on stage. I wind up glancing at it all the time. You just can't help yourself. you
Yeah.
know, So it's kind of a thing where if you start doing it, you kind of get hooked into doing it. I mean, even Ringo needs the prompter to sing a little help from my friends.
Wow.
Because I've seen him wander up the prompter and sing the wrong words.
Hmm. Yeah,
What would I do if you sang out a tune? But he's done that.
yeah, it's crazy, and it's crazy because I think some fans know the songs better than the artists at times.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. They can sing along to songs. They have internalized the
Yeah.
lyrics. So I feel that like it's an obligation if you're going to sing the song, especially if you're going to do it more than one night. I can see using a teleprompter if it's like a one-off performance.